What's up, digital me, virtual me? Oh, yeah, we're still doing this because, you know, I was wiped again. So, we'll get it done what I need to get done on Monday. So apparently there was some dude tobacco and nicotine loving does a soul justice. Coolness has been increased by 23%. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. There was a guy that a MAGA guy that apparently challenged every liberal creator to a fight. I'll take you out your pot. I'll take you all together. On the internet. And then was surprised when not every single one of them was a pansy. It was like, dude, all right, you do realize there's like 9 billion people in the world, of which 350 million people reside in the United States, of which maybe 275 million are adult age Americans. You could just split that in half. That would be 237.5 million are Democrat liberals, and then split that into, I don't know, 1% might be creators of varying degree on the internet. Maybe 0.1%, but 1% would be 2.37 million. So another percent would be 237,000. You could even take it down to 23,000. So even if you take it down to 0.01%, you get 23,000. You're going to cut the odds of 23,000 people just in America being pansies, all of them? Dude, this is a constant problem with MAGA. Numbers, people. Numbers. Go back to fucking math class. All right? I know education is not something that you like on principle, but man, you got to pick up a different book. Like, seriously. You can pick up the Bible, but like, damn. You really do need another book in your life. Even if you're not going to read it. There are books. They are called math, English, physics, biology. These are subjects that you need to be cognizant of and like know that they exist. Sociology. Come on. Think, McFly, think. All right. Anyway, so he wants to fight. Okay, so fighting is a MAGA thing, and all right. This leads back to what I was thinking of. Someone needs to challenge Trump to a death match. Um, I was like, I've been thinking for a while. I would love to do it, um, but even me, with my, I mean, just take this, what you can see now, and just kind of extrapolate it downward. I'm telling you, I'm fat. I was 250 pounds. I just recently went to the doctor for tired as shit recently. Fatigued as all crap. I'm still fat at 210 pounds and just like no muscles. Even all that, it would not be a match. I mean, unless you give him some sort of gun and then, yeah, like I'm going to fight that battle. Even like Trump with a gun versus like The Rock. If they're at any kind of distance in open terrain, I don't think The Rock would want to fight that battle. Even though you give Trump, a 9mm at like 25 feet, he'll probably miss with 4 out of 5 shots. But that thing has what, 8 shots, 10 shots. He hits The Rock twice in his torso. That still gives, I mean, yeah, in the movies they can move, but 2 shots in the chest for a lot of people, you drop a lot faster than in real life than you do in the movies. So no sane person would go up against something like that. So I say we need like an 80-year-old. So I think Trump should fight like an 80-year-old in a wheelchair with an oxygen tank. And we need one of those dudes to challenge him to a death match. And I think Trump would accept it because he's a pussy. I think that 80-year-old would win. And to make it fair, we can give Trump a knife. And I think that 80-year-old man, he'd probably be a liberal because a conservative would probably not even Trump. He'd probably want to shake his hand. But that 80-year-old man would be like, I'm about to die. You're coming with me, fucker. On this gravestone, Gerald R. Jenkins died a hero to every American except for idiots in the South and rural America, even though one day their grandchildren will also herald him as one of the greatest Americans to ever walk the land. And then, of course, somebody will have to kill J.D. Vance and Speaker Johnson, Speaker of the House. So we'll have to scrub them out too, but whatever. Cross that bridge when we get to it. And if that 80-year-old man in a wheelchair and an O2 tank challenges him, I think MAGA will put a lot of pressure on Trump to accept the challenge. His followers, his hardcore followers will be like, Trump, you can't turn that down, you pussy. How is Fox going to spin that? Oh, we don't live in this country, blah, 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 blah. Right? And it's true, we don't live in that country, but he ain't gonna get his 90% win. Republicans aren't gonna get any fucking wins that way ever again if he turns it down. No. The Republican Party is gonna be done if Trump turns something like that down. You want to bury the Republican Party? That's how you do it. Have a man that's on his deathbed do that shit. Win or lose, no, it doesn't matter. That's the hero of the day right there. That old man that's looking so close to death, and Trump will just be like, I'm not doing that. Yeah, because you're a pussy. So there you go. You know, and you know, if he wants to accept someone like me, not me or someone like me, fine. Like you could even it up by tying my hands behind my back and my legs, and I don't know, a whole bunch of other handicaps. Or maybe you can fight, a paraplegic of my age. I don't know. Because, what's the point in having a Congress if they're not going to execute the checks and balances that are supposed to be there? There's no point in having it. So we might as well have the death match. Yeah. And like I said, now my drawer is open. That is something MAGA will not only respect, but force the motherfucker to honor. Especially if it looks like a definite win. You put him up against Mike Tyson, they're going to be like, there's no way. Because they're a bunch of pussies. But if you put him up against a fucking 4-year-old girl, yeah, fucking take that girl on, Trump. What are you going to do, you pussy? You afraid of a little girl? So, that sort of thing. I don't know. Because personally, I think Trump has dishonored himself and the entire country. And he should resign. So, boobs out, people. Share this. Cut it as you want. Make a shorts. Do whatever you need to do. Put some bloopies on it. I don't know. Again, boobs.